us.
The Empire's
Stay
on
with
the
us.
run.
You're getting
Alex Jones
the decoding
and the GCN
here.
Radio Network.
We're decoding it. You got to decode it, or they're going to win.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. InfoWarsStore.com. From this Monday to next, all of the incredible books, videos, supplements, Liberty-based attire, belt buckles, Molon Labe t-shirts, organic seeds, you name it, are 10% off the already extremely low prices. We are doing this special to draw attention to the brainwashing that's taking place in the media and in the public schools and in many of the private schools and the, quote, higher levels of education. InfoWars.com is right at the tip of the spear worldwide. That's why it's essential to take advantage of this 10% off across-the-board special at InfoWarsStore.com. Whether it's the Made in America apparel or the Produced in America high-quality supplements, it's all 10% off the already lowest price in this back-to-school week. History is taking place right now. By going to InfoWarsStore.com, you are literally buying war bonds in the battle to awaken humanity. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. It's Alex Jones.
The big question is, do we want to be free? To be free, we've got to understand propaganda and how the social engineers are manipulating us. To be free, we've got to step outside of the left-right paradigm or the Fox News, MSNBC. Either the police are God and totally perfect and can do no wrong, and the NSA spying is good, and blah, 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 law and order. Or all the police are the devil and Obama will save us, race bait, MSNBC. No, we've got to have a larger debate about why they're militarizing, why we're being surveilled. And the truth is we've been taken over by foreign banking cartels who are hardcore totalitarians who follow a eugenics system. Our reporters, Josh Owens, at 100 feet away, had them pointing M4, 223, M16 variants at them, directly at their camera when they were standing there on the sidewalk. And the militarized police would march over during the day and say, get back on the sidewalk. And then later, get off the sidewalk. And if you don't get off the sidewalk, I'm going to arrest you. Just because they didn't like them reporting. And then firing rubber bullets at them. And then having the nerve on video firing tear gas, rubber bullets, and flashbangs, running up, dismantling the camera equipment after saying, turn your cameras off, chasing reporters down the street, throwing flashbangs at the car, blowing up in front of the car. That, by the way, could have blown the car up. Josh Owens, I wonder, I shouldn't even be asking, does Vice have the video of that? Where he's in the Vice car? Vice is huge. You know, HBO, you name it, started on the internet. I think it got bought for like $100 million by HBO. The point is that they're there with the explosions going off, chasing them. And then the cops have the nerve to go, we didn't chase any reporters. We were helping you. What? That's like at UC Davis, where the head cop's spraying them with the pepper spray in the face. I mean, was he helping them there? Was he, the sheriff's department says that they thanked the officers. That's right, that Al Jazeera thanked them. A spokesman for St. Charles County says that the reporters thanked them. That's right. Why not say that Joe Biggs thanked you for shooting him with a rubber bullet? Rubber bullets. Or how about Josh when you were trying to blow his car up for no reason, the car he was in? I wonder if UC Davis students thanked the officer that did that. That's the crazy disconnect of you guys believing your own propaganda. And this is designed, you're being given orders to make the public hate you. You're being set up for a civil war. That is the plan. I don't want it to happen. Let's go to Jakari Jackson, Joe Biggs, and, of course, Josh Owens. I want to talk to all of them. And then I want to go out to that crowd some start of the next hour before we go to calls and talk to the people there. Jakari Jackson, thank you for working so hard and being in so much danger. Would you like to thank the police department for tear gassing you?
This is Jakari Jackson, Infowars.com in Ferguson, Missouri. No, I do not thank the police officers for first telling me to basically shoving me to get me out of the street and then onto the sidewalk, then shoving me on the sidewalk. I do not thank the police officers for telling me to turn off my cameras. I do not thank the police officers for tear gassing me. I do not thank the police officers for firing multiple flashbang grenades at me and making me run over a fence, run into a yard. And that's when I ran into Al Jazeera. And I tell you, Alex, I was right there with Al Jazeera when all this went down, when they shot the rubber bullets at them, when they lobbed the flashbang.
No, I know. You shot video from behind. We have it from the side and behind.
And I don't think Al Jazeera thanks them either. So just like you said, they're drinking their own Kool-Aid. They're believing their own propaganda. Nobody thanks them for that situation just a few days ago.
Well, it discredited them. And now the police chiefs come out and said it was wrong, which is a good thing. And then they ruin it all by coming back out and having the sheriff's department say they were thanked.
Oh, yeah, it's completely ridiculous. Just like the journalists who were arrested at McDonald's. You know, they were keeping them safe. I don't know what type of justification they have to think that other people will believe their lies anymore. Just because you put it on a press release doesn't mean that everybody is going to agree with it. Some people may report it. You know, this is what the sheriff's department or the police department said, but not everybody's going to believe that. The people here don't appreciate that. I talked to the police chief last night. He was out here walking the streets, and I said, you know, you're pretty much, your officers out here indiscriminately shooting rubber bullets into a huge cloud of smoke. You can't make out who's in that cloud of smoke. I didn't see anybody with any night vision goggles. They just see a form in the smoke, and then they just open fire. And keep in mind, before they even open fire with the rubber bullets, they're firing the tear gas. They're firing the flashbang grenades. And we want to talk about the rioters and the looters, and that was a very big issue earlier in the week. But the police officers were the ones lighting the fires a couple nights ago when they're shooting out these flashbang grenades.
And the big issue is in the neighborhoods shooting them over houses when those things are activated by fire. That's, again, what burned down the Branch Davidian.
In the summertime.
In the summertime. Jakari, I want to read the quote that's being put out nationally and locally by Fox News of what the sheriff's department had to say, because, and we're going to pull that up and put it on screen, because it is just ridiculous. It says, despite reports, SWAT team helped Al Jazeera, did not take their equipment. And then I was reading the quote earlier, if we scroll down to that. It says, in fact, a spokesman for the St. Charles County Sheriff's Department says the reporters thanked their officers. Really, we have video. That's not true. In fact, last night, the SWAT team officers were assisting the media in moving their camera equipment and media personnel to a safer area with their consent so they could continue to cover the event, the Sheriff's Department spokesperson said. Ladies and gentlemen, they say, turn your cameras off, turn your cameras off. We have the video from multiple angles. Then they fire tear gas. Then they fire flashbangs. Then they fire rubber bullets, and you see people being hit with it, and then running, and then they start charging you, and then tear down the equipment. This is the most Orwellian statement I've heard since Common Core said 2 + 2 = 5, and Obama said if you've got a business, you didn't build that. I mean, I don't even want to attack the police here because that ties into the psychology of compacting them into an us against them mentality. But what world do they live in to shovel this type of grade A Bravo Sierra at us, Jakari?
Yeah, that's a good question, Alex, because the narrative we keep hearing, you know, I talked to a couple police officers last night, including the police chief, and what you keep hearing from these guys, well, I wasn't there, I didn't personally give that order, so I can't really comment on that situation. So for this this sheriff or whoever this guy is to come out and make this statement, was he there with those guys? If nobody else seems to know what's going on because they weren't here, how can he make a statement saying that they thanked them and that they were keeping them safe?
Jakari, thank you. I was listening, but Rob Dew just brought me in news articles with the actual statements by Al Jazeera saying they were chased, attacked to their cars, and guns were pointed at their faces until they told them thank you. So this is like Jeffrey Dahmer making little kids thank him for raping them. I mean, this is literally getting bizarre.
It is bizarre. And like you said, we don't want to fall into this us against them parallel because the officers out here, the state troopers, they were very well behaved last night. I even walked up to one of the state troopers, shook his hand. I said, thank you for coming out here and being professional, not coming out here with the heavy armor, not with the guns aimed at people, none of that stuff, just standing there peacefully in the blue uniform on the sidewalk. I said, thank you for being professional. So we don't want to make it a us against them. We want everybody to be held accountable, whether it's the officers pointing the guns, the officers shooting people with rubber bullets, or if it's the looters out here or the people burning down buildings. Everybody who was a participant in the violence of this needs to be held accountable. And I don't want to hear just, oh, we're sorry, we made a mistake, we'll try to do better next time. No, somebody needs to be held accountable. Somebody gave that order, or at least somebody didn't tell the guys to stop pointing the rifles at people, putting red dots on people's chest.
Well, this is the Homeland Security federal training that we as taxpayers pay for to send these departments to these facilities. This is standard. Who gave them the MRAPs? Who gave them the LRAD sound cannons? Who gave them the money for all the riot control gear and the rubber bullets and the flashbangs? This is Homeland Security standardization. Those uniforms they were wearing are one of 2 designs departments are allowed to pick out that the feds pay for, Jakari. And so this is the feds and the globalists and the RAND Corporation National Stabilization Force training to federalize the police that's been going on since the mid-90s. It's declassified. We've read it on air. It's public. We know more about the police state than anybody else. We're the operation that made 4 films about it. We're the people been covering it since '96. I've been the police state guy. And notice now, everybody's really getting concerned. Even mainline conservatives, libertarians, you name it, Wall Street Journal, New York Times, because we're in trouble, folks. This is pointed at us. It's beyond North Korea what they've set up. And we don't want it to be used against us. It's that simple. We don't want to be a mix between a Guatemala third world police state with a bunch of high-tech RoboCop stuff meshed together. I mean, anyone with half a brain can see how serious this is. Now, listen, Jakari, I want to get into what else you've witnessed, talk to Joe Biggs and Josh Owens here in a moment, but I know you guys got the interviews. I know it's in Gateway Pundit. I need you to go out and talk to that crowd because you told me that a lot of folks are saying they hate Obama, they hate Al Sharpton. He wouldn't dare come down there to the crowd. People told him don't come down there. The media is making this black versus white, Democrat versus Republican, and really using it to make all the predominantly black folks out there, but it's a lot of other white people, you name it, marching in solidarity. They're trying to make this a racial issue purely and to project the thugs that went out and looted the first night onto free speech and trying to sell the police state right now and trying to get a civil war going as demonstrations pop up all over the country, thousands marching in Times Square in places like New York where they let gangs rape women in Central Park and do nothing. We need to get on top of this